No, this rally cannot stand on the rise because of the ceasefire now. The children in Palestine are being slaughtered. Have a heart. How can you talk about children? The other side has endless.
Palestinian children burned alive. Pelosi profits sky high. Palestinian children burned alive. Where's your red line, Nancy? You're burning children alive. Genocide.
So the fact is, Teddy Roosevelt, a Republican president, said,
Enough, please. Out of here.
Harry.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're in the arena.
Sometimes you have to throw a punch for the children.
But that got me like, yeah, but that got me.
With our taxes every day, with our taxes every day, Netanyahu takes his pay, Netanyahu takes his pay, Nancy Pelosi obsessed with power, Nancy Pelosi obsessed with power.
Yeah, man. Yeah, guys. You gotta make these motherfucking politicians uncomfortable, man. You know, I could tell. Yeah, obviously Nancy Pelosi was annoyed, right? You know, hey, that what you get for being complicit in a genocide. Like, bitch, you think you just gonna let this shit just happen continuously without any action? Like, you know, protest is our right. Like, you know, um, you know, and motherfuckers forget the motherfucking Bill of Rights or the First Amendment. Yeah, freedom of protest. You know, see, you could protest something else. You know, that's not related to them, but if it's related to them, you know, then they bitch and moan like, "Oh, these are just Hamas supporters." You know, they terrorist sympathizers. Like, fuck out of here, man. Like, and you know, I know y'all seen that older lady, man. Like, shout out to her, man. Like, you know, that's some courageous shit. Like, you know, being able to like interrupt these motherfuckers, like make their lives uncomfortable. Like, that's an act of heroism right there, man. Heroism. Yeah. I talk funny, y'all. Like, you know, um, man, you know, Ty Peasant said, homework, you know, my homework for y'all is keep doing this shit, man. Make these motherfuckers uncomfortable. Hell, our lives ain't comfortable. Like, you know, besides what's going on over there in Gaza, that's giving us, you know, that's strain on our minds, like, because, you know, a real person with a heart sees them, our Palestinian brothers and sisters hurting. We hurt, and we hurting over here as well. Like, you know, motherfuckers homeless, people sleeping in the people sleeping in the street homeless. You know, people working two jobs. You know, yeah, we struggling because of their policy decisions or lack of enacting policies to help us. So yeah, make these motherfuckers uncomfortable. And you know, somebody said this a while ago. Somebody said, "Oh no, don't interrupt them when they like in a restaurant or nothing eating." Like, fuck that. If you see a politician that's part of APAC, supports Israel in a restaurant, don't let them motherfuckers enjoy their meal. Chant in front of them, "Baby killer" or something like that. You know, or you know, a Zionist. Yeah, yell out. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what the hell I'm just saying. I bet y'all like this nigga crazy. Yeah, man. Just make them uncomfortable wherever they go. Restaurant, a store, outside their home. Hell yeah, I like when you outside their home, man. Oh my god. And then they at home too, and you protesting against their acts of being complicit in the genocide. Like protest is base, man. Shout out to all the protesters, man. The college kids, people are still out in the street. Oh, and shout out to Cole Pink for the video too, y'all. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know who Cole Pink is. You know, follow them on Twitter and Instagram. They everywhere. Facebook too, probably. Like, you know, Medea Benjamin. I guess she the head of it. She been doing the damn thing, man. Like, you know, you know. So, welcome to the show. Good morning, guys. Welcome to ATP Live. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and ATP Live is only on the ATP Network. You can catch the ATP Network on YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch. Hopefully soon. If we get approved to come on Rockfin, we'll be on Rockfin too. Reach as many people as we can. There's a good bit of people over there on Rockfin though. We're a small channel, we growing. I had to give flowers where flowers due. Shout out to Ty Peasant. She came back after almost a month hiatus of being sick and having to prepare for 2 hurricanes. Give her time, y'all. Be patient with her. She doing the best she can. She got to get back on her feet. Like if I took a month off this shit, I'd probably be so lost. And and what you call it, gotta get your feet back up. So be patient with her, and also too, I got some shameless plugs. On the bottom of your screen right there, follow the official ATP Twitter account at ATP247. We're gonna start posting stuff on there. And subscribe to my podcast, man. Yeah, I got a side podcast called Real Recognize Real. It's available on all major platforms. And also too, y'all, me, Willow, and Marty B, in hopefully soon, we don't know yet, we'll do a show. It's not related to the ATP network or anything, but it's called Under the Willow Tree. We'll have me, Marty, and Willow. I owe it to them, they've been good to me. Everybody has their, we don't agree on everything, which is fine, but everybody, us trio, hopefully we could bring some to the table too. So be on the lookout for that. So yeah, man, what I'm gonna talk about today, I got 2 news stories, then I'm gonna share wonderful Feeny TikTok. Feeny, her TikToks are amazing. Like Feeny should get way more traction than she getting. Like it's a disgrace that these platforms, and TikTok ain't innocent either. Like I don't know why our government thinks TikTok is like pro like leftist propaganda. Like it's not. Like it's everything on there. It's right wing propaganda, it's liberal propaganda, and it's communist Marxist propaganda. It's all types of propaganda on there. See, TikTok is more lenient on what you can say, but they still suppress too. So yeah, Phoenix should get more traction on there. You can follow me on TikTok as well. It's Andre Morton 24. I really don't be doing shit on there. I post videos, but I'm not a Feeny. I'm really not. So the first video I want to talk about today on ATP Live is this from a year ago, but hell, why not revisit it? Ron DeSantis, it's titled How Ron DeSantis let it's called How Ron DeSantis Let BNS Destroy Florida. Yeah. This don't only apply to Florida. This applies everywhere. Like I think of Mississippi because I used to live in Mississippi. Apparently, Mississippi let Amazon not pay taxes in the state, not pay state income tax. Amazon makes billions upon billions of dollars like every hour or some shit like that, and the poorest state in the country let these motherfuckers go scot-free and not pay state income tax. Like, yeah, that's crazy. I talked to a few, like my mama, she still lives there. Like, she didn't even know that happened. Like, that's why you need to pay attention to local politics. That's why us leftists always say you need to focus more on the local level. Like mama, she has Trump derangement syndrome. She always looks at the federal level, but she's in local state. Like if you live in Mississippi, don't you think that Amazon should pay their fair share of taxes just like you? Like when you work there, and if you live there, like you pay state income tax. And I worked there. I lived and worked there, and they take a lot of state income tax out. So, you know, yeah, that could be millions of dollars that go towards fuck Brett Favre, but go towards TANF or go towards food stamp SNAP. You know, um, I just don't understand the poorest state. I'm pretty sure Amazon probably does in other states too, but Mississippi, I think damn, I think More Perfect Union, reported that. Yeah, um, yeah, like all these governors in these states let these corporations take the resources from the state, exploit the workers, not pay taxes, like all these states do. Like it's no fucking surprise. So I'm finna play this video right here. Share my screen. I'm still getting used to this, guys. Be patient with me. I gotta get Ty Peasant caught up more on it. I'm supposed to make a tutorial for her. I might make a tutorial for all of the members. All of them need to use this as well. Evie Mukes. If you guys never heard of it, I recommend Evie Mukes over StreamYard if you like to customize it the way you want. It gives you more customization options. Yeah, so let me see. About to share my screen. Give me a second, guys. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. I was in studio mode. Okay. Yeah, I'm finna play this video, and y'all know what I do. If you want to watch it yourself, it's called How Run Descendants Let Billionaires Destroy Florida. It's on More Perfect Union. Go watch it yourself, then come back on the replay and watch it. Watch me talk about it if you're interested. That's crazy though. Like, before I get to this, like the Anna Kasparian clip I posted on YouTube, it got a good amount of views for our small channel. People, of course they said some shit I don't like, but apparently folks listen to me. I'm shocked. But it is what it is. I don't know why I just said that. Let me play the video. Here we go. Oh, I got it muted. Hold on. Oh, got it muted. Here we go. There we go.
Supposed to be taking gifts meant to influence a future decision or reward a past decision.
One of the largest and most politically influential home builders in Florida essentially gave the governor a $30,000 golf simulator.
Should that be illegal? Ain't that bribery? Wait, they said Citizens United, basically said that money is speech. So I guess giving this evil motherfucker a golf simulator because he gave you tax write-offs in Florida, I guess, hey, why not? Hell, you could go get away with it, like, oh man, more Americans need to watch this video, especially you live in Florida. Like, everybody needs to see this. Like, like, this is corruption at its finest. Like, it's more deeper than this, but like, there you go. Gives him a golf simulator for doing the dirty work for him, for fucking over the people of Florida. Just bizarre.
Simulator that was installed in the governor's mansion in 2019.
So we heard the governor has this amazing golf simulator that was gifted to him by a real estate mogul. And we as constituents try the golf simulator.
Couple practice swings.
No, I don't think so.
We knew this wouldn't be easy. People like us don't usually benefit from Ron DeSantis' deals with wealthy political donors.
Security told us there was a list that we could get on to possibly play it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great day.
No matter how hard we tried, we couldn't get access to the golf simulator. So we had to settle for one that was more in our price range.
Way past it.
$30,000 is an extravagance for people like us.
Nice.
But for Ron DeSantis, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Ron DeSantis has raised record-breaking sums of money as governor of Florida, and a lot of that money has come from some of the biggest businesses in both the state and the
Hey, yeah, of course you get millions of dollars for doing the evil, dirty work of these corporations. Like, yeah, you know, these politicians sold out. You know, they sold out a long time ago. Probably before Citizens United, but now Citizens United basically give you the green light to sell out. You know, you can get golf simulators, you can get donations, massive donations. You know, depending on the state, I'm pretty sure the campaign finance laws are different. So because they different, and Florida is ran by Republicans, hey, you basically get away with bloody murder. Like, and also too about the Democrats, they do the same thing too. So I don't, you know, expect Kathy Hochul and old dude in California, the motherfucker that they want to be president in 2020. Well, it Kamala in 2032 or some shit. Like Gavin Newsom, you know, I don't. I'm pretty sure they get extravagances too. You know, see, Democrat Republicans are the same. Yeah, I'm talking about Ron DeSantis, but this applies to everybody else that you know that's in the duopoly.
Country as a whole, as well as many of the country's billionaires.
That's Jason Garcia. He knows the Florida swamp better than anybody.
I've been an investigative reporter in Florida for more than 20 years now. I specialize in covering the influence big businesses have in public policy.
The story of the golf simulator is a window into how this often works.
It was technically a loan through this really obscure entity known as the Governor's Mansion Commission. But essentially what it allowed is Ron DeSantis to have access to a $30,000 golf simulator at the Governor's Mansion provided by a real estate developer who needs help from state government. The DeSantis administration has steered tens of millions of dollars to a highway interchange.
Yeah, it needs help to probably make the housing properties cheap as fuck. You know, screw regulation. You know, probably, or just things like that. Like, yeah.
Change project where one of the main beneficiaries is going to be a development being built by this very same home builder.
Ron can't help himself. The guy just loves golf.
So the Tampa Bay Times actually obtained this internal memo where the governor's political staff was planning to essentially sell access to the governor, in part by using the golf course. They had an actual price list. Golf in a foursome, $25,000 per person. You want to golf one-on-one with Ron DeSantis? $100,000.
What the fuck? Wow, man. Wow. You can buy a politician. Wow. You want to golf with that piece of shit motherfucker, Mr. Put slats in his shoes? Y'all remember that? Wow. $100,000 to golf with this guy just to get a tax write-off or a deregulate or to cut regulation. Yeah. I ain't got $100,000 in my bank account. You talking about $100,000 to golf one-on-one with this motherfucker? Shit, man. You know what I could do with $100,000? If I had $100,000 right now, I help all my friends out with it. I mean, money don't. See, you understand is like all these other politicians. They love money. They greedy. They love money. They want to enrich themselves. Like, I feel if it is just be blunt with you guys, a lot of these motherfuckers get into politics not to change people's lives, to enrich themselves. That's what it is. Enrich themselves or get some sort of power with a corporation or a lobbyist group. Like, come on, man. And a lot of regular American people don't even know this. They think politicians actually try to help. Oh man. Oh man. That's why independent media is important, man.
Folks have figured out this is really a good way to build influence with him.
Not being able to use the golf simulator, that hurt. But it's the least of the damage that Floridians are experiencing as a result of DeSantis' fundraising. Florida is now officially the inflation hotspot of the country, and that didn't happen by accident. If you live in the Sunshine State, there's one issue that's impossible to escape.
Housing generally is the #1 issue in Florida. Cities like in Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, everywhere is dealing with affordability crisis.
I have a friend that lives in Florida. I ain't gonna tell you where she lives at, but she's paying $1,500 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment in Florida. Now I pay $1,200 a month, and I got 2 bedrooms. God damn! Like, How do these people? And then she work at a grocery store where they pay $16 an hour. Sometimes I say to myself, like, her and other folks, how these folks make it, man? Well, obviously I know how she make it through mutual aid. She got she got me, she got a couple of people that helps her out from time to time. But people that not online, don't know what mutual aid is. Like, how these folks make it? My God, $1,500 a month for one bedroom apartment, and then she said it keeps going up and up. My God, man.
5 of the 10 most overpriced housing markets in the US are in Florida. The rate of evictions and foreclosures is the second highest in the country. So what have DeSantis and the Florida legislature done about it?
The main thing they did is they passed essentially what was one giant industry subsidy for apartment and affordable housing developers. Now, what it didn't do is provide any sort of immediate relief or immediate protection to people.
Yeah, give these Wall Street goons a subsidy just to screw over to screw over Floridians. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't talk today, man. I don't know, I'm kind of emotional today. To screw over Floridians. Wow, and people keep voting for this guy. I don't know, wow. How you vote for a guy that contributes to you getting potentially kicked out of your home because it's overpriced? I don't know.
Already housed, right? This is all a play to build more housing, but obviously most of that will take years to play out.
Without any meaningful relief from the state, tenants across Florida were forced to turn to local solutions.
This may be the last year that I live in Orange County, a place where we've created so many memories because we can no longer afford to live here. So I am in favor of rent stabilization.
In Orlando, 60% of voters approved a measure calling for temporary rent control. This was the most modest form of rent control you could imagine. It would only have stopped landlords from raising the rent more than 10% for 1 year.
At the same time, other cities and counties passed their own laws to provide extremely basic protections for renters.
Things like, if your landlord is going...
See why local politics is important? See, you can pass laws in your own local municipality, Afeni did that in PG County in Maryland, like, for rent control. So see what I'm saying? Like, that's why we need to focus a little more on local politics. I need to start talking about more local politics. Fuck Kamala Harris, fuck Donald Trump. We all know they're not gonna change shit. Like Kamala, today she has some kind of plan for black people. Like, but bitch, you said a few months ago that you ain't gonna help black people. You want to help all Americans, whatever the fuck that means. Like, you ain't gonna help them either, but you ain't gonna do shit for black folk. But anyway, local politics is important, guys.
Going to kick you out, they have to give you at least 2 months notice. Or if they're going to raise the rent more than 5%, they have to give you 2 months notice.
These modest tenant protections consistently attracted...
The rent should not be raised at all. Hell, fuck it. Housing should be a right, not a privilege. Like, housing used to be like, it's affordable, but manageable to get. Now you gotta have credit checks to rent an apartment, and down payment, 4, 5, 6 months rent. Some instances, like, then if you've been evicted, that goes on your credit report. Then you try to get a house. Fuck a house. You try to get an apartment. Good luck. So yeah, like the system just want us to fucking suffer. That's just what it boils down to, man.
Broad popular support, but they were extremely unpopular with one very powerful group of people.
The landlord industry, particularly the larger corporate developers, hate this sort of stuff. So they went to Tallahassee and they got the legislature and Ron DeSantis to pass a law that invalidates all those local protections that have passed the last few years. I don't think people have quite appreciate just how...
See how evil these motherfuckers is? Now, if you live in a local municipality in Florida that gave a shit, the bare minimum and had rent control, well, your local senate just banned it. Yeah. Not good, man. Not good. This should wake everybody in that state up. You know. Um, yeah.
Enormous this law was. This law that Ron DeSantis just signed stripped protections from more than 1.5 million renters in Florida.
So that's what DeSantis has done for renters. But what about homeowners?
Meatball run.
Florida's homeowner insurance rates are more than 3 times the national average. Why? Well, for one, Florida looks like this, making it extremely vulnerable to hurricanes and flooding.
The property insurance market in Florida is...
And then, you guys may know, Florida had 2 hurricanes, Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton, that ravaged the state. So, yeah, like 3 times the national average for home insurance. Holy shit. Again, man, not only on top of a mortgage payment, you got to pay insurance. Like, yeah, they do got state-ran home insurance, but how good is that? Is it real good? Like, is it more affordable? But it's ridiculous.
In chaos, and it has been for a few years now. What you have is many insurers just leaving the state altogether, and those that are staying...
Hell, all of them leaving, it deletes the competition, which makes a couple of, like, they have 1 or 2 that, just couldn't make prices as high as they can because, there's no competition. Like, oh my goodness gracious.
Are raising premiums at record paces.
Yep.
Crushing insurance increases before hurricane season even enters its peak.
So how has DeSantis responded to all of this?
Ron DeSantis has signed several pieces of insurance legislation since he was in governor, all sort of ostensibly built around this idea that we're trying to stabilize the market. But what these pieces of legislation have essentially done is given the insurance industry things that it has been lobbying for years in Florida, more than a decade in some cases.
The big bill DeSantis signed was in December 2022. It had 3 major provisions.
One, it took away the rights of customers to sue their insurance companies if they don't.
Yeah. Your governor basically said, hey, if your insurance denies your claim, you can't sue them. Oh my goodness. Like, that's so anti-decency. Like, damn, I forgot. Not democracy. What word to use that when you can't sue? Should like the government say you can't sue Pfizer or Moderna if the vaccine makes you, you have a severe allergic reaction to it. I'm not anti-vax. I'm just saying, like, you should be able to sue these pharmaceutical companies. Say, as you should be able to sue your insurance company if your house get flooded in a hurricane and you pay your premiums each month, but they say, oh no, we can't cover that. No, we don't want to. It's too expensive in our eyes. Yeah, fuck it. Wow.
Pay claims on time, or if they delay or deny claims unfairly. 2, it made it easier for insurance companies to raise rates even higher than they already are by taking away the risk that they might lose customers to a state-run insurance option. That's a place to find insurance without having to worry about, a profit motivation. And 3, they've extended an enormous amount of public subsidies to the industry in the form of below-market reinsurance. That's insurance companies buy for themselves. Under Ron DeSantis, the state of Florida has extended the amount of publicly subsidized reinsurance by $3 billion.
You think that with subsidies this big, there would be a few strings attached?
Critics would tell you that if you're going to be providing this essentially taxpayer-backed insurance to insurance companies, then there should be some...
You're giving these greedy motherfuckers subsidies to fucking to enrich themselves and to screw over the residents. Oh man, this is some ultra corrupt shit. Holy motherfuck.
Immediate corresponding reduction that consumers see the benefit of the risk that they themselves are taking on.
We have yet to see any signs of relief for consumers. DeSantis, meanwhile, has been rewarded with $3.9 million in donations from the industry.
See, he gave them he gave them a prize. They gave him the ultimate prize. See what I'm saying? Like this shit should be fucking illegal, man. That's crazy that this shit is legal in this country. And you see why motherfuckers are living under bridges and kids going to bed hungry. Yeah, that's one thing. Like, now these motherfuckers can afford to give subsidies to these insurance companies. They don't need them, but when you say, hey, you think kids should get free school lunch? Like, kids need to eat. Eating is good for your mind. It's fuel for your brain, for they can learn. Oh no, that's socialism. That's communism. That's communism. You can't feed no. You shouldn't give them no free food. Fuck that. But ain't it socialism? Ain't giving a subsidy to insurance company. Ain't that social? Not socialist, but they're like kind of like socialist. Like, okay, whatever, man. These motherfuckers are hypocrites. These people are hacks. Ron DeSantis, all these governors are hacks.
It's a similar story for energy costs in the Sunshine State. Some of the first lobbyists to join Ron on the golf course came from utility companies that have since donated millions of dollars to his campaign. And it's not hard to guess what they were lobbying for.
Rates have gone up significantly in Florida, and that's partly the result of the three main power companies here, Florida Power and Light, Duke Energy, and TECO, all won the right to dramatically raise their rates just a couple of years ago. FPL is the state's biggest utility. I think it's got more than 6 million customers in the state now. It also got the biggest rate increase by far, roughly $5 billion over 4 years. It's an enormous rate increase, far bigger than anyone has ever seen in Florida before.
Energy bills got so high that residents in the Panhandle started organizing petitions and protests against the company. But one man in particular made all of this possible.
Wow, wow. Just wow, man. Like damn, like you hear this shit, but that's what I like about More Perfect Union. They break this shit down. Like, wow, utility rates. Florida is very humid, subtropical climate. Very, it gets pretty warm down there, and you need AC. But oh man, wow. What can you say at this point? Like, I'm watching this like you guys. I think I said enough a few minutes ago.
Ultimately, the elected official most responsible for this is the governor. The electric companies in Florida are supposed to be regulated by this body known as the Public Service Commission, but each of those appointees are appointed by the governor. And one of the things we've learned over the years is very few political appointees go against the governor's wishes on any sort of major decision.
My view is, we want.
Yeah, they pick you to be corrupt. Why would you go against them if he picked you? Oh man.
To have affordable energy in the state of Florida, and we're committed to doing that.
So how these motherfuckers just lie. Say they get behind a podium with a suit, they look presentable like the average American. They don't know no better. Man, he's presentable, he's professional, He said he gonna lower my rates, then you get your electric bill is fucking $500. You be like, this ain't low. Oh man.
And that's where we're gonna be on that.
Okay, so we've covered what DeSantis has done to the cost of housing, insurance, and energy. All issues that average Floridians are painfully familiar with. But there is one huge story that has completely flown under the radar. It's about, wait for it, tax policy.
Just before his re-election, I did a study looking at every tax cut and tax increase that Ron DeSantis signed during his first 4 years as governor. And what we found is that he had cut taxes for businesses by more than $5 billion. But he had raised taxes on consumers by more than $1 billion. So, his record would tell you, look,
see, these motherfuckers will argue, trickle down, you cut the taxes for the businesses could take that extra money you get and give it to the employees, which they don't, which that's a fucking lie. And they know it. They know it. They just, these people are fucking evil. And, the people that are working, the customers gotta the consumer has to pay that tax burden. The most you know the most damn, I can't think of the word. Man, I hate when my brain do this, y'all. Exploited people in this country, we always gotta pay the tax burden. We always do. Yeah. I know this ain't, local. This is on the federal level. I know most of the people had to pay back in taxes. Like, see what I'm saying? Like,
We've cut taxes by $4 billion, but that's because there was a $5 million tax cut for businesses and a $1 billion tax increase for consumers.
And the businesses we're talking about here aren't mom and pop shops.
We're talking about companies like Disney, like Comcast. The very largest corporations have saved an enormous amount of money in taxes under Ron DeSantis.
It's important to remember all of this when you see DeSantis going after quote-unquote woke corporations like Disney. For all of his culture war rhetoric,
the culture war rhetoric is just that fucking distraction. Like he just used that. He just wants to divide the people. Like that's what they are told to do. Identity politics. Like your kids are. They in schools they indoctrinating your kids with all that woke ideology crap. And that's not true. But just to divide the masses, and then what the masses do that aren't they got indoctrinated by his bullshit, they repeat it. So like why people are arguing over what gender affirming care or trans people in sports. This motherfucker gave Disney a tax cut and gave subsidies to house insurance companies. Like, you should be at this motherfucking mansion in Tallahassee, Floridians, right now. Really, if you're a homeowner and you're and you pay all these, you really should. Like, but no, the culture war bullshit is just a distraction. They just that's the ploy is.
There's another side of DeSantis that he doesn't want us to see.
Also, they want us to fight with each other while they run out the back door with all the money. Like, just telling the truth.
Being very aggressive and very loud on culture war fronts is very effective at distracting folks from realizing that a lot of the economic policies that are being passed are not necessarily in their best interest. People are too busy thinking about things like transgender athletes in competitive sports to notice that, hey, your taxes are going up while Disney's go down.
That's what I just said. Wow.
Now that DeSantis is running for president to make America Florida, we should ask what that would actually mean.
I think you will see.
Yeah, this video was a year ago. Yeah, his presidential campaign lasts as long as his slats in his shoes stood up. Oh man.
An administration that is very focused on the policy needs of the wealthiest taxpayers and investors in the economy, and then trying to make the case that we will all ultimately benefit in some trickle-down way from that.
That's what they said about the golf simulator, and well, we all know how that story ended. That's the sad truth about how things actually work in DeSantis' Florida. The rich give gifts to the governor, he hands them billions in return, and working people are the ones left picking up the bill.
So yeah, y'all, that's one of two news stories I want to talk about. Yeah, man. Why I'm just gonna say this again, then I'll get to the next one. Why they want you to argue over trans people in sports and banning books and all that bullshit. Just ignorant ass shit. Ron DeSantis getting golf simulators and campaign donations and and giving your tax dollars to insurance companies so they can come back and not deny your claim and you can't sue them. Like, yeah, I think I'm the crazy one. Like, if that don't make you mad as a Floridian or any other state, this could happen in other states too. It probably does. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not the right person to talk to you. You know, ATP Network, we got other shows, maybe try Chill Time or try the original Coming Quarter. Well, I'm just trying to help you out. Like, you know, like local politics is very important. Like local, see how that affects you first. Like, you know, like I'm just saying. Um, I'm about to get to the next news story in a second. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I think I saw that before. I didn't see the whole thing. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. You know, people should care, man. Like, you know, even if you don't live in Florida, like I live in Louisiana, obviously, like this shit, I'm gonna have to look into it. Like this shit, I'm pretty sure they gave tax cuts too. And Louisiana's is a hurricane state, so yeah. I mean, I live up in the Delta part of Louisiana, but you know, the people that live in the lower sea level, like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, you know, Lafayette, you know, all those Lake Charles, you know, all those areas, you know. God forbid, you know, maybe our governor got a bill saying that you can't sue the insurance company just in case a hurricane comes. So you never know. Okay, guys. So the next story I got here is this is says Wall Street housing takeover is worse than you think. This is from More Perfect Union as well. I'm gonna play it and break it down, you know. And we just got done talking about the housing situation in Florida. Like, yeah, I'm gonna play it and pause in between.
Properties. Mold, rat feces, exposed wire.
There was dripping water in the garage right in front of the door to the house. We had a water pipe that was about to burst.
If you rent a single-family home, there's an increasingly larger chance that your landlord is a new breed of homeowner. Wall Street. Giant institutional investors are grabbing up thousands of homes.
You know, before I get more into this, I had a friend named Forrest. He still lives in Mississippi, but apparently his landlord sold him and his mama's home over to which you guess, a Wall Street real estate company, Wall Street owned real estate company, and they couldn't afford it, so they wanted him to buy the house, but they didn't have the credit or they didn't have the down payment, so they still lived in the house because it was rented, but because the landlord sold it over to the Wall Street exec, they had to move to another part of the state. So yeah, you know, it's bad enough Wall Street took over hospitals. A lot of hospitals are ran by Wall Street. Every company you think is ran by Wall Street, but at least you think like when you own a home or apartment, like and then like you seen earlier there, like the homes aren't maintained properly. Mold. I hope it ain't black mold, because black mold makes you sick. Rat feces. Like these motherfuckers make billions of dollars in profit. Like they can't get a fucking exterminator to come in and get rid of the rats. Like I'm pretty sure it don't cost that damn much if you make, you know, if you profit billions of dollars. And also too, water leak, like things that, you know, aren't that hard to fix. Like if then you overcharging for these homes. A lot of these homes are built worth for fucking shit. Ain't built worth for damn. Thin walls, plywood everywhere. Like, God forbid you live in Florida, you live in one of a home like that. When Hurricane Milton came through, that home is gunzo, son. It's done. Oh my God.
In Atlanta, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and so many communities around the country, making housing both more unaffordable and lower quality. And one of the biggest culprits is a publicly traded company called Invitation Homes, which owns, believe it or not, 80,000 properties across the country.
Dallas-based
Invitation Homes. Wow, yeah, you get you a nice home, you know, overpriced when we use fucking plywood and thin walls. materials. Yeah.
Invitation Homes is the largest operator of rental homes in the country.
Invitation Homes, which has some 2,500 properties here in the Denver metro.
They have more than 9,000 properties in the Phoenix metro alone.
Invitation Homes has been deceiving consumers, violating tenant laws, and
I haven't seen Invitation Homes come to Monroe, but I'm pretty sure it's coming there soon. Probably in New Orleans as we speak.
failing to keep their properties habitable. But the Federal Trade Commission has been paying attention. They've heard from renters across America, and for the first time ever, they have brought a case against a major corporate landlord, finding the housing job.
Wow, the U.S. government doing something like this. Holy shit. Wow. Whoa. Oh boy, probably will give them a slap on the wrist, They're not gonna super sanction these people, man, because Wall Street is in Washington.
Giant $48 million in a historic settlement.
We get millions.
$48 million is a slap on the fucking wrist when these motherfuckers billions upon billions of dollars. Like, see what I'm saying? Just a fine, Oh yeah, slap on the wrist. You get a fine, move on.
Of complaints every year from people reporting all sorts of abuses they are facing in their everyday life. And one of the things we've heard in the housing sector is that renters are facing a lot of abuses today.
During its investigation, the FTC uncovered that Invitation Homes has engaged in deceptive and exploitative business practices for years.
We alleged, I think, 4 really serious law violations in particular. And what we alleged is that the company saddled renters with junk fees, hidden fees that they didn't know would be included in their rent. We alleged that the company skimmed off people's security deposits.
I thought you were supposed to get a security deposit back if you decide to move out. Like, that's why they call it security deposit, Yeah, see? Stole folks' money. Months and months to save that money up, to get a home, to make something out themselves, just to, if they need it back, to steal it. Like, I think that's been going on for a long time, though. Not just with Invitation Homes, but other places too. Other people I heard too. Like, when they actually security deposit, that motherfucking landlord look at them like they fucking crazy. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. Like, if we had an adequate government, shit like that would be prevented.
Systematically withholding millions of dollars from renters. We alleged that the company failed to maintain their properties and often ignored maintenance requests from renters. And we alleged that during the height of the COVID pandemic, the company steered people away from federal eviction protections and initiated eviction actions.
Wow. Pandemic is still going on to this very day. Lord have mercy. But even then, 3 or 4 years ago, wow. Pandemic, you lost your job, can't pay your rent. Well, you can't pay, get the fuck out. Fuck those weak ass eviction moratoriums that the government implemented. Just get out, Oh God, I hate these motherfucking people.
In spite of those protections.
First on the list, the FTC found that Invitation Homes.
I'm gonna say that, man. If hell was real, if it's real or not, all those motherfuckers burned for eternity. Like, holy shit.
Used a predatory fee structure that it concealed from renters until the last possible moment. Basically, they lied about the cost of rent.
The company would advertise one rent, but then saddle renters with hundreds of dollars in junk fees that could jack up their rent more than $1,700 per year.
Johnson says she's been hit with about $200 in unexpected fees each month.
So we have the smart home fees, the home filter fees. We also have the fee.
What the fuck is a smart home fee? I don't believe that's home. Wow, it got a Ring doorbell. Charge you extra $100 for a Ring doorbell. Wow, that's a smart home. Yeah. Yeah. See, motherfuckers see how they get away with this shit, and if I get away with this shit all the time, like, I'm sorry guys, my nose kind of itchy.
Again, because they don't allow you to change the water over to your name, so you pay an additional fee for that.
Cheryl writes she's forced to pay for extras that I did not sign.
What What the fuck is an air filter? What is an air filter subscription? What the fuck? What, an air filter that goes into your HVAC unit? Yeah, your AC unit, heating unit. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking serious? You change it yourself.
And do not want, such as air filter subscriptions.
In the course of its investigation, the FTC wanted to better understand the motivations of the company as it engaged in these unscrupulous business practices. So it looked into what the CEO was specifically telling his employees to do. And they found this startling admission.
It was the CEO of Invitation Homes who said we need to juice this hog.
That right there. That's the whole video right there. Juice the hog. Suck the most exploited people in this country dry. See, people like this, people like that is the reason why so many people are homeless right now in this country. Juice this hog. You evil ass motherfucking punk ass motherfucker. You a punk ass motherfucker. Juice the hog. Air filter subscriptions, water fee, smart home fee. That shit don't make any motherfucking sense whatsoever. Oh my God.
We need to squeeze renters for all of these fees. This was not a low-level employee. This was a deliberate corporate strategy that started at the top.
And that wasn't the only corporate strategy to juice earnings.
And we work with you to schedule routine maintenance visits twice a year.
And 24/7 emergency maintenance telephone support is available as well.
Invitation Homes promised quality inspections and constant support. In reality, the company practiced what the FTC found to be a deliberate pattern of ignoring maintenance requests, putting the health and safety of their renters at risk.
I had reported this, and you can see like it's cracking across the ceiling.
Water damage in here. You can actually see how bad it is here. This is so wet, it started to peel up.
Holy shit. Y'all see that? Wow. My goodness. That is so sad. You paying all that money a month just to have your cabinet peeling up and it's rotting on the bottom. Holy shit.
The microwave didn't work. We had to repair that, had to get a new stove.
There were folks at the company who called their maintenance procedures a train wreck. They said it was the worst they had ever seen. What our investigation found is that more than 30,000 renters had complaints about maintenance within 1 week of moving in.
To boost their bottom line and meet investor targets.
Wow, you move into a new place, it's new to you. You expect everything to be in working order, then maybe a few years down the road, something acts up. Then hopefully your landlord will get it fixed. Like, you paying rent, like, damn, like, you overpaying for rent to stay in a home. And, you get in a place, that's crazy. Like people are not going to notice those things, even if you check the place out, you walking around, looking at it, see how it look. What? Like, this is dystopian shit right here, man.
Its Invitation Homes prioritize profits over renters' rights. Every renter knows that if they take care of their home, they're entitled to get their security deposit back when their lease ends. But that's not the way it worked at Invitation Homes.
They said themselves, when it comes to security deposits, they knew they were upsetting tenants by withholding so much in security deposits, but they had to hit the numbers investors needed to see. And that's why Invitation Homes withheld 60% of the security deposits people made compared to a national average of 36%.
That's millions of dollars stolen from renters just because Invitation Homes thought they could get away with it. And during the pandemic, while Invitation Homes publicly touted their support for struggling tenants, they were actually finding ways to bypass the national eviction moratorium.
The way it worked is that people would fill out a declaration that the CDC circulated, and that declaration would essentially give them the ability to stay in their homes through the duration of the moratorium. What Invitation Homes did is create their own separate form called a hardship affidavit. but it didn't have any effect. And then it went on to initiate evictions against many of these folks.
Wow. So people probably didn't know CDC had I don't know why you do it to the CDC. I guess because CDC handled, we get into all what the CDC didn't do comes to the pandemic. But so basically, people basically signed to get evicted. Wow. Insane.
For those who are wronged or exploited by Invitation Homes, an urgent question remains. When will the FTC settlement reach their bank accounts?
We are not keeping that $48 million. That money is going back to consumers. We administer redress ourselves. We're not using a third-party contractor. And the reason we do that is we want to make sure every dime that we can get out the door
It should be more than $48 million. I'll say that.
back to renters, we will get out the door out to renters.
As corporate landlords increasingly control more of the housing market, renters have been saddled with higher rents and worsening conditions.
20 or 30 years ago, your landlord might have lived upstairs. They might have lived next door. You probably knew them. In 2022, almost a third of single-family homes weren't sold to, John and Nancy down the street. They were sold to institutional investors. This is big business. They have investors. They need to answer.
I remember this was a long time ago. I remember the city, my mama's town, gave to see how much people homes were worth. It wasn't worth much then. It's probably worth more now because house the price increased. But I just thought about it, maybe these Wall Street investors come to these smaller towns, any size town, no matter what size town it is, but these towns and cities, and I guess what they saying is hey, we can buy this home for $40,000 and flip it for $350,000 because we just a bunch of corporate hacks. Like I don't know, man.
They have numbers they need to meet. So many of the problems we see today are a direct result of that trend.
Corporate landlords have reshaped housing, but the government is pushing back. The FTC's $48 million case against Invitation Homes marks an important start to reshaping a housing market that puts people first.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna say this: is it good that the FTC is doing something? Yes, but it needs to be more punishment than just a $48 lawsuit settlement. Like the motherfucker Invitation Homes, man. That motherfucker needs to be in prison. Like stealing deposits, homes not maintained properly, junk fees, shit like that, exploiting the the average working class American person that's just trying to make ends meet. You know, um, you know, more can be done. I'm just gonna say that more can be done. Like basically, Invitation Homes. Okay, yeah, $48 million, but God forbid what other new plan or strategy you have. So yeah, man. So I'm done with that. The last thing I want to talk about is a Feeney. Her TikTok video. It's amazing. Y'all know Feeney. Feeney is amazing. I ain't gotta, I give her accolades all the time. Here we
Just
go,
tapping
y'all.
in to say that the Democratic Party does not have a Jill Stein problem. They have a policy problem. Since people love to fact check me, let's start with some facts, okay? Polling just came out that says that Harris is only up by 2 points, 50-48 over Donald Trump nationally. A CBS YouGov poll says 51-48.
See, I told y'all guys that honeymoon phase by Kamala Harris. I'm gonna leave it like this. You can see it bigger. It's a TikTok video. Told y'all that honeymoon phase over. Motherfuckers thought when Kamala was up by 7-8 points on Trump, oh, she got it in the bag now. Nope. This is a close race. You know what? The way the world is going now, like everything just don't seem real. Like I wouldn't be surprised this shit be 270-270, man. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Like, the voters are both turned off by these two hacks. Like Kamala, on one hand, she you know, she can't do an interview without giving a word salad, and Donald Trump saying Haitian immigrants eating cats and dogs. So yeah, like I it just
NBC poll says that they're 48-48, which means it's a dead tie. In September, in these very same polls, Harris was up by 6 points in the ABC poll, which is the first poll. She was up by 4 points in the CBS poll, which was the second poll, and she was up by 5 points in the NBC poll, where she is now dead tied with Donald Trump. Now, why is this? It's because of the economy. Genocide should be the biggest issue right now, but it's not.
yeah, it's the economy. Because people look in their bank accounts and see negatives, or they go to the grocery store and they buy items that 10 years ago would be like 30 or 40 bucks. Now it's 60, 70, $80. Or you go to the gas pump and that's still high, in some areas. So yeah, the economy ever since the beginning of time has always been the biggest issue among voters. Like, yeah, she's right. Gaza should be up there with the economy. I say it should be tied. You should, you know, care about other people that's getting slaughtered by your tax dollars on top of the economy, but it is what it is. Yeah, continue.
59% of Americans are saying, as of right now, that the economy is getting worse for them. And on the issue of Palestine, polls show that in all of the swing states, 80% or more of Democrats or independents support a permanent ceasefire, and 60% support an arms embargo of some kind. Now,
That's crazy. Like, your own voters say that, yeah, you need to stop supporting killing innocent women and children. Like, like, I mean, that's a no-brainer right there. Yeah, the Democrats 80% support Medicare for all, but the Democrats, we can't afford that. How we gonna pay for it? Same shit. Just
what's the point of me telling you all this? If they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to protect democracy, they would. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, yes. He is a threat to democracy, yes, but he is one of many. It is a threat to democracy when a majority of your
yeah, I wouldn't say I disagree with her on that one. I don't, Donald Trump. Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he want to terminate the Constitution. Yeah, the riot on 1/6, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, but I think what's a threat to democracy, in my opinion, is Cop City. That's a threat to democracy because everyone wants to protest. They want us to have that real uprising, aka revolution. But hey, I'm gonna continue.
base is telling you that they want to see a ceasefire in the war that you are funding, and you're refusing to actually do the ceasefire. It's a threat to democracy when the Democratic Party refuses to actually have a real primary process. It is a threat to democracy when popular policies like Medicare for all.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that Obama behind the scenes said that it should be a primary, because even Obama, fuck Barack Obama, he wag his finger at black men, like, talking down on us, like we basically, I can hear now, if Kamala loses, black men is to blame, even though Democrat Party don't give a shit about black men, like black men get gunned down by police, they don't give a shit, but 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 yeah. Oh, you continue.
Robust climate intervention and other things like that, housing affordability. Those are the things that are top of mind for a lot of Americans, and is a threat to democracy when the parties that are running at the top of the ticket have absolutely no policies to address those things. It is a threat to democracy if the only reason why you are voting for Kamala Harris is because you do not like Donald Trump, not because you are actually inspired by any of the policies that she is putting forward. And what's really frustrating about the vote blue no matter who, folks, is y'all are more mad at us for actually having real policy demands than y'all are at Kamala Harris for not having any solid policies to actually address the issue.
Yeah, like, I'm saying I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she don't support reparations. Like, black people need reparations. The um, American descendants of slaves. We need fucking reparations, but but y'all get mad because I won't vote for her because she don't support my policy. You know. Oh man, vote blue no matter who, man. Lesser of the two evils. Yeah.
Issues that Americans are having. Because if the Democrats wanted to win the election, Kamala Harris would come out in support of an arms embargo and the Democrats would stop committing genocide. If Barack Obama actually gave a fuck about black people, and especially if he gave a fuck about black men, maybe he would chastise the Democratic Party for not having a strong black agenda. Or maybe, just maybe, he would have actually spoken up about the black man that was.
But to me though, Barack Obama is kind of a weird character in this sense. Like behind the scenes, it's like he says like I wouldn't say the right thing, but more logical thing. Like, hey, we need a primary and with Joe Biden before he caved and basically fucked old Bernie Sanders, saying, you sure you want to do this, Joe? Your brain ain't working right, basically. So Obama ain't shit either. I get it.
Getting executed by the state of Missouri a couple of weeks ago, but neither him or Kamala Harris had anything to say about that. So basically what I'm saying is, if Johnny has 2 apples, the Democrats could win this election if they actually listen to their voters. Period. This is a big part of the reason why I continuously connect what is happening in our foreign policy back to how much money we're spending, because Americans care about their money. This just is what it is. If Mamala wanted to win the election, okay, she would focus on domestic spending that alleviates the economic stresses that Americans are feeling. But she's not focusing on that. So that's the reason why she's struggling in the polls. It's not about Jill.
Yeah, when she asks about they 60 Minutes, when they ask her some real questions, what you'll do about food prices? Food prices going up. Yeah, I acknowledge that. That's all Kamala got for you on that one. But she said, "Hey, I let the greedy corporations price gas the fuck out of you. I nothing I can do about that."
Jill Stein. It's not about Jill Stein.
Shout out to her, Feeny, man. Feeny does the damn thing. Follow her on TikTok, Facts and Fire. Follow her on Twitter, Facts and Fire. Follow her on Instagram, Facts and Fire. She is fire. I'll tell you that much. Oh man, I love that. I love that woman, man. Oh, so yeah, y'all. That's the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this morning version of ATP Live. This evening, you'll see come back to the ATP network and you'll see the Canada's finest Smurf speak truth to power. So that should be an interesting topic. So yeah, y'all be sure to like the video, subscribe to the ATP network on YouTube, Rumble and Twitch. Just do what you can to laugh, man. The world is so fucking bleak, man. Fuck oh man. I'll post to today talk about this one of these older episodes of Tea Time with Andre and Ty Peasant, where we had Willow on, and I don't know how we got to this topic, but we were talking about not being safe in your own country, fearing school shootings and fearing somebody shooting in a movie theater. Like, if you don't live in America, like like you can't even go into a store and not hoping to think that you'll come out alive. Like you always have to think about what if this happened. Like all these scenarios come in your head because you never know. You might not make it back home alive, or you might be in a hospital in critical condition. Like you never know. Like just to go to the store, like or go to a movie, with your son, like Ty Peasant. I wanted to find it, but some reason I can't find that video. I hope I didn't delete it. Like, why would I delete that? Like, Ty Peasant was cooking. She always cooks, man. Willow was cooking. Like, that was a great episode of Tea Time. Like, that's why I like Tea Time because, you know, because you invite guests on. We invited Willow, and Willow spoke truth to power. Like, I like inviting the smaller people that don't get no shine. Ty Peasant get the most shine. I get I get very little. I'm not that big of a person in the leftist space, but you know, you know, yeah, man, I think about that. Like even me, like I go to the store, you know, a shooter comes to the front, start firing his gun. Um, you know, I think about the exits. I swear I always look on top. I look at the exit sign. I'm like, okay, that's the exit right there. Like, same thing. Like, I don't have a kids. I don't have kids, but I think about Ty Penz's kids. Like, pretty sure it bothers her to think that kids will come out of school alive, like, cause a mass shooter might go to their school and start firing shots at them or the other kids. So you shouldn't you shouldn't have to live in fear, man. You should be able to live your life. Like, there's nothing wrong with going to the store, right? Getting out of the house. Nobody want to be stuck in the house all the motherfucking time. Or you should be able to go to a movie, enjoy a movie, or you should be able to go to a restaurant and eat. You should be able to enjoy yourself, like without thinking about the exits or thinking about situations or thinking about. I think Ty Pence talked about this on Real Rec Not Real podcast. She talking about they had some kind of like things that go in the kid's backpack, like best like a bulletproof thing, something to go in the kid backpack. So like, the kids hold it in front of them or something. Like, your kids you shouldn't have to get this stuff. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about your child. Your child should go to school to learn, not to fucking be in fear. They probably ain't going. It depends on how old your child is. Your child probably not going to understand, that stuff happening. But like shooter drills, like when I was in school, all we had was tornado drills, which was a joke. I just thought about that. Like, a tornado comes and they tell you to do this. Let's go get thrown in the air. But I don't know. I guess they had to do something. Fire drills, earthquake drills. Never had an earthquake in my area, but that's all we had. Like, now, not only kids got to practice those drills, they got to practice fucking shooter drills. Like, what kind of world, what kind of country is this, man? Other countries ain't got to worry about fucking shooter drills in their schools. Like, people should be able to live in peace and harmony, man. Like, economically, mentally, physically, everybody should be able to live in harmony. But yeah, man, this is tough. This world's tough, man. This United States, man, it's a tough place to live. I wanted to play that video so bad, but it's just that clip, But hopefully I can find it. Then I'll play it on the Good Faith Show or ATP Live. It don't matter. So, okay, guys, that's the end of ATP Live. I mean, I hope I'm not trying to be a doomer or nothing. I just thought about that a few days ago, and I'm like, wow, man, like this is literally the new normal. Like, having to worry about will you survive going into a grocery store buying food or even a clothing store, like any store. Like, it's crazy. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for watching the ATP Live with your boy Andre, signing out.